Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're just gonna do a really simple makeup tutorial. I'm not a professional makeup artist by any means. However, I do love to just do makeup. It's nothing ever extravagant, but I do have very sensitive dry skin. I have a little bit of eczema that tends to pop up around here. I have like a little bit of dry spots. From time to time, I will have a little bit of acne like here that will be popping up. And when I was a teenager, I just had terrible skincare. I'd use bars of soap. I would use sometimes nothing at all, or people would just say use water and nothing else. And my skin would just get really dry. So I have a lot of acne scars because of that. And yeah, this is just like my real bare skin face. And before I used to wear a lot of the full coverage things without taking care of my skin first. And then I realized I probably need to take care of my skin first and then go into a little bit more of a natural looking look. So right now I'm not going to use any foundation. There's days where I do want to use foundation, and there's other days like today where I'm just at home working on a few of my businesses and I just want to feel alive, feel awake. So what I'm going to do, I don't have a mirror, I'm just going to be looking here, is I barely need a lot. Like, I don't know how people do the whole like triangle thing and then they draw in it. Like, I've tried that before, but this is probably the most that's going to be happening. So what I do is I just point it here, and then I take a beauty blender. I don't think this is technically a beauty blender. I got it at Ulta, and it came in like these little egg containers, like cartons of eggs, and it was the cutest thing. So I just spritzed it, and then I'm gonna blend it in. I'm not looking for like perfection again. Like, I'm not going full coverage heavy on anything, but I blend it here right underneath, and then I kind of make a little bit of that triangle, but I don't use a lot of that product. So I just dampen my beauty blender a little bit. And I should mention, before I put this on, I put moisturizer, I put SPF on because it is daytime, but I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. And before I thought I got the wrong concealer color, but this one's gonna do just fine. But as you can see, I'm just blending a little bit at a time. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we'll be finishing it up later on. And what I sprayed it with was the Naturium Niacinamide Skin Mist in Naked. I can't do fragrances in my skincare products because I have such sensitive skin. So once I blend that in, I go in with my Banana Light, and I've been kind of going through it, but you know what? This thing was like $8 at Ulta, and regular translucent powder does not do it for me. It just doesn't go well with my skin tone. That's just part of being brown. So I put it on the cap, give it a little tap, and then I put it on the back of my hand because look at how much excess product that picks up. And then I just dab it right underneath, and then I use the rest here, go into my areas. And since we're not using liquid foundation today because it's just so light, I'm also going to press it, and I'm using this really small tiny brush. I'm just going to press it into my acne scars, just a little bit. I actually just ordered the Charlotte Tilbury, oh my god, I forgot what exactly it was called, but it was a finishing powder. It was a compact finishing powder. So let me know if you want a review on that, but I hear that it's just so fine. And I also just needed something for on the goes. Okay. It's looking a little wonky, but trust the process. So I'm going to take an even bigger brush and then just kind of brush it off. I don't let it bake because my skin, like in certain areas, it gets a little dry. So baking it sometimes just brings out the creases and stuff. So next thing we're gonna do, again, we're looking crazy, but I'm gonna go in with this Too Faced contour highlight multi-use sculpting concealer. This thing a little bit goes a long way. I swear, I always see people that put it directly on their face and they make these huge diagrams, but I tried that and it does not, every time, it does not look good. Maybe because I like a little bit more natural and I'm not like the best at blending, but that is all that I need. And then I'm gonna take, I broke it yesterday, another brush from Ulta. Here's the handle for it. It literally snapped off, well, because I dropped it. So what I'm gonna do is just dab it on the back. I know you're probably like, oh my God, it's just spreading everywhere on my hand. You can barely even see it, but that's how light I need. And then I just put it in this area. Just dust it. And I feel like maybe the lighting is making it look a little like you could barely see it, but I guess that's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm putting it in this area, and trust me, like, it's so light. I mean, the amount that I'm putting is so light, obviously. So I'm just gonna run a little bit on here. But the one that's really gonna make the difference is, I'm gonna go back in with this big powder brush, is my MAC. This one is in shade Dark. It's the Mineralized Skin Finish. I've had this for a long time, and I remember this was probably like the first expensive, I don't know why I did quotes, but first expensive makeup product I purchased for myself. I think this was like $30 or something. So this is the one that really evens and makes a little bit more depth. I don't know if you can tell, but again, picking it up, and then I'm doing this on the outsides of my face because that concealer is already like bright here. I'm just powdering the rest of my face to make it look a little bit more even. Okay. You barely even tell, like, you know what, I should mention, my main goal isn't to hide my acne scars. If I were doing that, I'd be using a liquid foundation, but today it's just me and me, and I'm doing this for me. So I go in and then just do a little bit of powder here and there. The next thing that I'm gonna do, which should have been the first thing, but sometimes it's kind of like a hit or miss for me, is the eyebrow wax. This could totally kill the look, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. And what I do is I take a little brush, you know, an old mascara brush, pick up the smallest bit of product, and then I don't put it directly on my face. I actually rub it on the back of this top, and I always clean it afterwards because I'm telling you, a little bit goes a long way here. But I used to just take this thing and then run it all the way through my brows, but I've learned my lesson because that can make me look insane. And that's not what we're going for today. So I take it and I just do the base like so, like that. What was her name? Tabitha Brown. She's amazing. Anyways, I just focus it on the very base, and I have not been plucking my eyebrows. Let me tell you, when I was in high school, I overplucked a bunch, and I would go into the waxing salons, and I'd always just be like, can you clean up under here? Don't make it thin, just clean up. And they would always make it extremely thin. So we learned our lesson. But this is kind of this is a good amount. Also, this brow wax, like, it doesn't stay up like this the whole entire time, which is good because I need it to I need it to calm down. But I like that it's sticking up because I have those Asian brows, Asian hair, that everything just sticks straight and refuses to curl, refuses to move, to do anything. So I'm gonna let that sit, let that dry off. And while we're doing that, while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna go in with a powdered blush. I've been wanting to try Rare Beauties by Selena Gomez. Let me just find my brush, the one that I want. I'm gonna go in with this really small one. And then this is the sample one in the shade Orgasm. I used to not be a big fan of blush, but I think it's cute. Now I think it's cute. But yeah, I've been wanting to try Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty one because it's all the hype for the past like year or so, but I'm not one to just spend money on a bunch of makeup that I know that I'm not going to use all the time, like blush. But this one by NARS, it's barely noticeable. I used to have really bad hyperpigmentation here and here, and I get it occasionally, so I think that's another reason why I didn't want to do blush, is because I always had redness on my cheeks, and putting blush on it always made it look like I was just bringing hyperpigmentation back. So we're just gonna do a little dusting. Oh my God, my foot fell asleep. I'm sitting on the floor of my room. You could barely tell, like barely tell. I know somebody's gonna be hating in these comments, like, you didn't even put anything on, blah, 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 like, whatever. Okay, so I put that on, and what I'm gonna do, because I'm basically done with my powders, I still have to do my eyes and my lips. I go back in with the Naturium Niacinamide Skin Mist in Naked, and then I just spritz my face. So next I'll just do my lips, since we're still kind of waiting for these brows. See how it's kind of fallen a little bit? Like sometimes I even question if it's enough, and I realize the concealer was here the whole time. So then we're gonna go in with this lip pencil. Honestly, I've had it for such a long time. It might have been my mom's. So the color, the name has rubbed off, but I think it's Milani. So just gonna do the natural lining of my lips. I don't want to overline or anything, but yeah, I barely use lipstick because I have such dry skin and sometimes eczema pops up there. So if anybody has a skin routine, or not skin routine, lipstick that does not irritate your skin, and because you have eczema as well, comment that down below. I'd love to try it out. But now I think you can kind of see my skin starting to like waken up a bit. And the next thing I'm gonna do is my eyebrows. Man, those 2016 block brows, like I still have my ABH pomade, which I use from time to time. But today we're just gonna stick with powders, mainly powders at least. So I'm gonna go in, again, this is ABH, and this is that eyebrow thing. I'm gonna go in with the darkest one first because I just need to fill in a little bit of the sparseness here in my brows. And I think I have it's the cutest little mirror on here too. Okay. I'm not gonna edit this. Before, on my earlier videos, I would literally sit down and edit it and want it to be perfect. And of course, these were like, if you go back to my earlier videos, not all of them were makeup or beauty or whatever. It was my old job, which was accounting. And that was a moment, let me tell you. But for those who are like new subscribers or who are just clicking around, a little background of me is I used to be an accountant at a Big Four. I used to be a tax accountant, and I did it for about 2 years. Did not like it at all. Knew I wanted to start my own business, so I did. I mean, there's way more stories, fill in the blanks that need to be said about everything that happened in between. But that's basically the story. So I like doing and trying new things. I'm the type of person that I think is more of like a jack of all trades instead of a crazy master of one. And that quote used to set me off for some reason. I think it's, yeah. Anyways, I'm just going in super tiny with this small eyelash brush, but I'm just keeping to the natural curve of my eyebrows. It looks really skinny up here, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. Okay. And then the last steps, of course, is just going to be the eyes. I'm going to go in with an eyeliner. Let's do this kohl eyeliner. This is probably one of my favorite ones that needs to be sharpened. It's the Glide On by Urban Decay. I don't know if they're still selling it, but I just lift and I have the littlest bit, and sometimes I just take it and flick a little bit out, and it creates like that kind of blended, little bit of blended winged eyeliner look, which, because it's so faint, you might not be able to see it. But this is one of those looks that, like, you know, if you don't want to feel super heavy on your face and you just want to do concealer and little bits, take some time for yourself. So this is almost it. I forgot my eyelashes. But I mean, right? Pretty natural, very natural, I would say. Enough of my acne scars shining through. I was about to say imperfections, which, you know, that's what they are as well, but I've embraced them as I've fully embraced these acne scars. So I'm gonna curl this, and as you can tell, I need to clean this off, but that was just old mascara. And then the last thing that I'm going to use is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This was the sample size that I got a few Christmases ago. And then I love how everybody, like, the mouth stays open. And then this is the fun part where you're just your bottom lashes, you gotta like drop your jaw. So this is pretty much it. This is the final look, and let's see if you can get like a better, but as you can see, it's just very natural. You still have little imperfections popping out. Embrace those, ladies and gentlemen. This is what real skin looks like. I don't go to an esthetician and get my face massaged 2 or 3 times every month, even though I would love to. I just haven't hit that point in my life where I'm financially stable to like afford incorporating those. But this is the finished look. I'm just wearing a house t-shirt right now. But this is it. Thanks for staying and chatting with me. Let me know what else you all want to see. But this is my skin with some eczema patches, with some acne scars, some acne, and it's just still that natural, cute look. Nothing crazy, no crazy contouring going on here. But thank you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.